Hey guys, my name is Thomas Brush. I'm the creator of a game called Pinstripe. I'm also working on a game called Once Upon a Coma, which will be released on consoles and Steam later this summer. I want to talk about your very first game. A lot of you are thinking about starting your first game, or maybe even finishing up your first game and thinking about how much money is this game actually going to make. Well, I can't give you the exact figures, right? I'm not God, I don't know what's going to happen with your game, but I can give you a philosophy to live by, some rules of thumb about your very first game and how much money it's going to make. But before I tell you about how much money your first game is going to make, I want to talk about Skillshare. Guys, I'm really thankful for Skillshare, not only because they sponsored this video, but because they provide a ton of resources and courses available for you, and you can get 2 months free. And these courses are going to help you learn how to make games and get financial freedom to be able to maybe quit your job or launch your very first game. They have courses on 2D animation, 2D design, coding, development, marketing, storytelling, audio design. I mean, whatever you want to learn, it's probably on Skillshare. So guys, please click below if you're interested in getting 2 free months of Skillshare. Thank you so much, Skillshare, and thank you for sponsoring this video. All right, let's start off with my first game, okay? My first game was called Coma. Well, that's what I've been telling you, but really my very first game was a game called Flash Geometry Wars. This game was a complete ripoff of Geometry Wars, but I wanted to make a Flash version, see if I could do it, so I just sort of coded some really crappy if-then statements and a little bit of trig, and I put it together and I made Flash Geometry Wars. And this was my very first game, and it made $0. And then I made Coma. Wait, nope, that's not true. And then I made a game, I think it was called Pan's Apples. And that game was a game about Peter Pan, and you could fly around and collect apples. I don't know why I decided to make a game about this, but I just started working on it and it worked out and it was fun, and I made a game called Pan's Apples. So after I made that game and made $0, I made Coma. Now Coma was my first real game, even though it was a free Flash game, and that game ended up making about $20,000. But that wasn't from sales or even ad revenue. That was from selling it, everything, the whole IP, and that's intellectual property. I sold the entire IP to a publisher. I eventually bought it back, and I'm making the sequel right now, but that's a long story. But overall, you can see that my first 3 games, in terms of sales numbers and ad revenue, was $0. I made a couple $100 here and there, and I think with Coma, maybe I made a couple grand off of ads. But overall, when it comes to game sales, it was nothing, right? And I think this is a really important thing to remember. I wasn't making games to make money. I was making games because I wanted to. And a lot of you right now have maybe it's my fault, right? Maybe I've been telling you how you could be successful as a game developer. Maybe it's the indie game documentary, or maybe there's other developers out there who've made millions of dollars or even just 6 figures off of their games, and you think that you can do it too. Now, obviously you can do this too, but I would say it's very important to remember that your first game, the very first game that you release, it probably won't make money. It might make a couple $100, maybe even $2,000, but probably won't make money. And there's a couple reasons for that. Mainly it's because games that you make, the very first game you make, is probably going to be short, it's probably going to be small, it's probably going to be a prototype of some kind that you release to itch.io or GameJolt or just some free website. Now, is it wrong that your game makes $0? Is it unjust? Well, of course not. I mean, it's your first game, and it's probably not going to make money because you're new to this, right? The thing that you get out of your first game, the value that you get out of your very first game, it's not money. It is not money. It is learning how to make a game, how to release a game, and learning what you did wrong and what you did right, and then making the next one. I think about this often, but Edmund McMillen, who made Super Meat Boy and is wildly successful, I actually looked up all the games that he made. It's ridiculous how many games he made before he made Super Meat Boy. So let's just go to Wikipedia here and take a look at what Edmund McMillen's career was. Oh, well, it looks like he made Super Meat Boy and The Binding of Isaac and The End Is Nigh. Those are the first 3 games that show up on Wikipedia. Man, this guy is brilliant. He's so successful. I'm not like Edmund McMillen. He's so smart. Well, he is smart, but let's keep going. If you scroll down, you see an entire list of games that he made that you probably don't know about. And these were games he made before Super Meat Boy. The Backup Files, The Lonely Hermit, Dead Baby Dress Up, 12 Uses of Dead Bodies, Dead Baby Dress Up 2, 6 more Dead Baby Uses, Dead Baby Dress Up 3, Style Man Dress Up, WWF Baby Dress Up, 8 more Dead Babies. The list goes on and on and on. Lots of dead babies. And when did he make Super Meat Boy? When did he make Super Meat Boy? He made it like 20 games after. The rule of thumb that we can gather from this is if you want to be successful, you need to release games. So stop thinking of your first game as your baby. It's not your baby. I mean, no game should be your baby. I hate that line or that philosophy of making games or making any creative work. It's not your baby, it's just a project, okay? You're having fun, it's your job, or maybe it's not your job, it's a hobby. It's not your baby. Your baby should be a human being. That's who your baby should be. That's where you should invest all of your emotion and your depression and your anxiety and your happiness and your joy. All of those emotions should be put on people, not projects. That said, your very first game is not going to be your baby. Especially your very first game is not going to be your baby. So what I would say is treat your first game not as some doorway to financial independence and wealth and quitting your job and starting your new career. Treat your first game like your first game. It's a project that's going to teach you a lot about making games. It's going to teach you how to make a game, how to release a game, and most importantly, your very first game is going to teach you how to finish a game. That is, and I hate to say it, so I feel like I'm being a jerk right now, but a lot of you don't know how to finish a game. Honestly, a lot of you don't know how to finish a game. How many games have you quit, right? How many games have you even thought about that you never even started? Your very first game should teach you how to finish a game. It should teach you how to make games. And I don't know if I would ever gotten where I am now if I didn't release Flash Geometry Wars or Pan's Apples, right? I don't know where I would be if I didn't take the step to releasing those games. And guys, I didn't treat those games like they were super special. I really didn't. I just made them really quick and uploaded them online and forgot about them. I think it was like 3 months later where I decided that I was going to look at the reviews for Flash Geometry Wars, and they were pretty good. Some of them were crap, but I didn't stress over it. It wasn't a huge deal to me. A lot of you think about your game right now, whether it's even just an idea, and you think about it with such anxiety and stress, and you're worried about what people will think. You're worried about whether you can actually do it. And I would say, just get it done and release it. Just get it out there. Who cares what people think? It's going to probably flop anyway. So don't worry about it. A lot of you might be mad right now hearing me say that it's probably going to flop anyway. But I promise you, if you embrace that mentality right now, you'll be so much more grateful after you release your game than releasing your game thinking you're going to make $1 million or even just $100,000 and realizing that the road is a little bit longer than that. You can't just release one game and expect it to be successful. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. If you like this video, please hit subscribe, hit the like button, and consider supporting on Patreon. Also, you can wishlist Once Upon a Coma, which is coming to Steam and console later this summer. Thanks guys, I'll talk to you later. Bye.